Hi, I'm Jackie from Indiana. I am a 66-year-old woman that has carried a heavy secret for 50 years. I've just started sharing this year. When I was 16, I found myself pregnant with my on and off again boyfriend. I loved him, but I knew, or I thought I knew, that my father would kick me out because he said that many times through my life. And I didn't want to be that girl that made her boyfriend marry her and see that become the ruin of us. So we chose abortion. I was from a small Indiana town, and in the 1960s, you never heard that word. Somehow my boyfriend and I got an appointment for an abortion in New York City. He scraped together enough money for me to fly there alone and return. On that plane, God placed a St. Mary's College student going home on break right beside me. She didn't know what I was going to do in New York, but was concerned. I think she knew in her heart. She helped me find my way to the address and went on her way. At the office, the doctor went to check me and said I was too far along. I was terrified and crying. The nurse there took me aside and said she knew someone who would do the abortion. She took me home with her and in the morning took me somewhere and left me. There I was taken into a room and was sedated. I remember pain and a suction noise. I remember somehow getting back to the airport and having terrible cramping. By the grace of God, I made it home and tried to go on as if nothing happened. It was the beginning of my heavy shame cloud that hovered over my life. I had been raised in a religion that preached that there was an unforgivable sin and that this was the one. So now I knew there was no hope for my eternity. 3 years later, that same on and off again boyfriend and I married. I have always felt I would have been a more intimate wife and loving mother if there just wasn't that shame cloud I kept trying to ignore and stuff and hide away. I was lonely, missing my God, and very depressed for many years. 40 years later, my daughter invited me to a great banquet weekend at her church. That weekend was the beginning of my journey out of that huge shame cloud and back to God and His sweet grace. And now, through healing programs, forgiven and set free and deeper still, I am starting to be able to face the world with my 50-year-old secret. And that is why I'm silent no more.